You are listening to Business Marketing 911 with Mighty Mike and his marketing SWAT team. So buckle up and get ready because the episode is beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, you guys? Mighty Mike here, the Mighty Website Builder. I'm really excited about today's episode because we have a marketing genius on and someone that's a lot like me in the way that we love video. See, one of the cool things about videos, you guys will know if you've followed me, is that it's something that you can create. And if you're familiar with being on camera and you're comfortable with it, then you can actually create it and it's done. You know, if you want it to be perfect, you can take a little bit of time to edit it, to repurpose it, and then all of a sudden it's just this amazing like masterpiece. So if you're like a creator like me, then this is going to be an episode that you're really going to enjoy because our guest today is an expert in that. And so really quick, before I bring him on, I want to show you guys a couple. I mean, I was sitting here geeking out as I was looking at the social media. I was just like, this guy, I mean, all the different resources on here that you guys can go check out on his website. Let me give him justice as we look at this here and intro him. He's got a wonderful, like a lot of experience. And so without further ado, Joseph Rubelli is a marketing strategist, brand building expert, founder of Rubelli Digital Agency, and host of the Digital Bosses podcast, which you got to go check out. Okay. Joseph, man, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I love your intro. It just gives so much energy to the audience. Thank you.
Yeah, well, definitely. I love having people come on that are like, you know, this is their passion and they're just about creating things and creating something special in the world that's going to make some kind of an impact no matter what it is. Even if your main goal is just to get out there and make some money, that is great. And you do it in your own way. That's great. And so why don't you take just a second and tell us, you know, what got you started in marketing?
Right. So my background is in sales and marketing. I used to work in the corporate world for a beauty company. I was in retail management and sales and training. So my job was really training sales team and really help them to perform in the best way on the show floor. And what happened is I worked for two main companies in beauty, and my last corporate role was into marketing and influencer marketing. So my role was all about looking for new influencers, really maximize the opportunities on digital. And this is where I kind of got close to the whole digital world, if you will. And, you know, I did that for 3 years. And then in 2018, I seen my career going one way and myself going in a different way. I was really passionate about digital marketing, but what I was doing was not really fulfilling me anymore. So I decided to take that leap and go into opening my own business. I became a contractor. And what I did, I sent an email to all my previous employers and I said, hey, I am now working for myself. So if you need anybody to do marketing for you and sales, I am the person for you. So you know how I work. And if you feel like we can work together again, let me know. And that was a great strategy because that ensured that I had an income straight away after I left my job, because we all have bills to pay and we all have rent to pay.
So what were you doing? Were you doing marketing already?
Yeah, I was doing sales and training mainly, but in my last role, I was involved into marketing as well. But it was more kind of like trying to understand what was the trend online and try to understand how we could repurpose that into the retail floors. So everything to do with stores. I was in charge of the UK, the Middle East, and Italy in terms of marketing. I was doing international training. So my passion has always been training. And I kind of got into the marketing side of it in my last role because they were doing lots of influencer marketing campaigns. So I was really involved with that.
That's great. So there's a couple of things that I love about this whole sales and marketing and diving into this. And one of the things is the ability to separate the two, right? Because you know, if you're a salesperson, you know, always be closing Grant Cardone, you know, university type of people. and that's one side of it, right? And then there's a whole nother side of it, like Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels marketing guru geniuses, right? And so I love the two spectrums, because then you can learn to apply both of them in your business and be able to optimize. Are you familiar with the two? What are your thoughts on that?
So it's interesting because sales and marketing are really kind of similar but very different. And when I approached digital marketing, I thought that my experience in sales was going to be a plus, which it was until a certain extent. But what really happened was the need for me to do a whole new training, because even I started marketing and advertising in my background at school in terms of education, but what I studied was completely different from what it is now. I mean, traditional advertising is really different from digital marketing.
Mm,
And, what happened here was a whole new word, from sales funnel to click funnel and landing pages. And
yeah,
it has been, and it still is to this stage, a huge learning experience each and every day, especially when you are specializing in social media like I do, where the algorithm changes every week. You record a YouTube video and the next week they launch an update and you realize that you're not actually relevant anymore with your information. This
yeah,
is kind of like what I've been, it has been a huge learning experience all the way through, and it still is now that I have a marketing and branding agency, which was kind of my goal to start with. And it is great. I love it. And to answer to your question, what I will say is, in our job, it is really a learning process all the way through. You never stop learning every day. And it is from anybody that does websites, email marketing, social media. There is always something coming up, and you have to be up to date to really level up your game.
yeah, it's true. Did you hear about the Elon Musk with the chip in the head? I
Yeah,
think it's called I think
that
it's called Uplink. I mean, we're entering a new age, like some of these people I talk to that are building websites, and we're going to review a website today from a very successful company that's been around for a while, and they just they just don't get it. And some of these businesses, they really they do get it, and they go into the funnels and they create the lead magnets to drive traffic and to build their email list, and they get it. But how do you think technology is going to change in the next 5 or 10 years?
Well, I think we are going towards, from a marketing perspective, what is happening is we are going into a relationship marketing mode. I think we already are. If you look at each and every platform, the video is the priority. The human connection is what is being pushed from each and everything. Video are more converting. And what happens is, especially in this time and place where we're not really socializing very much in the real life,
Mm,
video is the human connection that you need there. And what company are doing are humanizing their companies in a way that they're making it look like a person. And
mm,
when you are playing with emotions in your marketing strategy, you are resonating with your ideal client. And this is the big difference. And this is what I think will change. I think we will see very much of a video driven strategy in each and every business. If you look at Instagram, if you look at TikTok, video is the way forward in everything. So definitely more video, definitely more influencer marketing. I think influencer marketing will change. I think we are in a bubble right now. It is kind of like all the people that started, creators, made so much money, and now the bubble is kind of popping a little bit and it's changing.
mm,
And the people that are doing this in the right way and they are delivering value are the people that will stay. And this is the big difference in terms of the way the whole industry will change in 10 years. I think we will see lots of filters going on and lots of creativity into making graphic design always more real. And there will be lots of combination between graphic videos, and the creative side of businesses will have to come out if they want to be relevant.
Yeah, that's true. The great examples are actually, as my girlfriend and I are sitting watching TV, a lot of times I'm sitting there and it's kind of annoying probably, but but I'm sitting there going like relationships,
Yeah.
health, wealth, and when they don't have any of those things, I clearly recognize that it's a terrible ad. you know, like when they come out with when somebody comes out and says our new patented platform and this cool scrubber of the vacuum or whatever, it's a terrible ad. At the end of it, I'm like, that's a cool vacuum, but like I don't want it, you
It's
know.
not resonating.
Right, because it's not talking health, relationships, or wealth. You know, those are the three core things. And if you can't like target on those, are there any other? What's your perspective on that? Are there any other things that really resonate? Obviously, sex, but that falls under relationships, right?
Yeah. Relationship is big, and I think once you are a communicator and you can relate your product and service to an emotion that is involved in relationship, I think is a big win. And it is not easy, and that's the biggest challenge. But this is where the good expert work, because you can really create a message through storytelling and really kind of give a good relationship communication through the product and service that you sell. And it's interesting that you brought relationship, because there is this creator that I remember looking at on TikTok during the lockdown. And this guy was actually doing a whole content strategy based on relationship. He was doing, I can't really remember how it's called, but he was doing a whole kind of relationship coaching, if you will. And it was related to the way you handle the stress in a relationship during the lockdown. But the whole thing was a big momentum to launch I think it was kind of like a clothing brand or something. And the whole clothing brand message is about positivity and relatability. So it was really clever marketing. I was really impressed. But it is very, very true. Relationship are the way forward in marketing, believe it or not. And if you look, one of the worst example I would say is when you have a dating app and you don't use relationship as your main motion to move your content. I've seen so many there doing it wrong. And I'm like, you are actually getting people to meet and to fall in love with one another, and you're not using love as a main communication strategy. What's the matter?
Yeah, use our dating app and become rich or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's terrible. So, all right, cool. So, one of the things I like to do on the show is, find out a little bit about you, but also find out what is your marketing superpower. So, what is it that you can do that maybe not a whole lot of other marketers do well? What's your superpower?
Thank you so much for this question. This is actually a question that nobody asked on podcast, so I'm really happy that we are doing this. Well, I'm specialized in videos. I am a social media marketer to start with. So I love social media, and my expertise is really giving you the right strategy in terms of content for social media. So I would say content marketing and video marketing. I teach entrepreneurs, coaches, and creators how to leverage and brand and business through video. And this is what I do. I teach you how to look confident in front of the camera, how to create video that converts into leads and sales. And I teach you how to maximize live broadcasting in line to sell a product or service. So I'm actually working on a new program. I am the founder of Rubelli Digital, which, as I mentioned before, is a marketing and branding agency. But what we are launching next month is the Rubelli Digital Academy. And there is a whole program of 10 weeks that you can do with me. And what I teach you is I go from how to create content that converts to your ideal audience, and also how to use video in the right way, as well as how to get your branding on point through storytelling. So linked to what we discussed before, storytelling and emotion are the way forward. So this is what I cover in the program. So it's a really jam-packed 10 weeks with me, and it's not digital. I'm not actually making a product that is digital. It's a product that you work with me one-on-one. So we have a session together every week, and we go through each and every process and every step. So there are different modules covering different things, from your ideal client to what does your branding look like from a perspective of conversion, and then how to create YouTube video or Facebook Live that actually are converting and people are interested in watching, which you're doing really well. So,
So one of the cool things is, when it comes to video that I love is I love the idea that as technology and all these people start adapting live video, there's all these tools, like we're using StreamYard right now.
Yeah.
If you're watching right now, you guys, you got to actually go to StreamYard and give them permission to see your comments so that we can see your comments and stuff. But yeah, I mean, these tools are just, they keep adopting these new tools. It's only a matter of time, but before you put a little chip in here, and just you go live, you think about going live and boom, you're live. So it's pretty cool. So let's dive. I mean, we can't do 10 weeks. I mean, it'd be nice if we can condense all 10 weeks that you're of this course, this class you're doing, one-on-one course or group course. But what are just 3 things? If someone wanted to start recording videos tomorrow and they go, you know what, this video thing is kind of cool, I'm going to go get StreamYard or whatever platform they want to use. What are 3 things they can do to get started with that?
So I think the first thing you want to do is to understand who you're speaking to. So you really have to be crystal clear on your ideal client and really create content that is speaking to that person. You're speaking to one person when you're looking at the camera, and when you're looking at the lens, you actually are speaking to that person right directly. Don't speak to everybody. Don't say things like, hey, everyone, happy Friday. People really want to kind of, have everything straight away. They give you 2 seconds out of their time and they want you to go straight to the point. So just, for example, part of the module that I have on the program, there is a whole module on how to structure your Instagram story in line to convert them into leads. And I dive into what's the strategy to create an Instagram story from beginning to end. So if you think about storytelling, right, we had that from the beginning of time. There is a beginning, there is a middle, and there is an end. So if you go into the beginning and you say, for example, let's say you're talking about fitness, you can say, okay, what do we think about cardio every day? That's the first question. So the viewer will know what you're going to talk about on the story. Then on the second story, you can share what's your story related to cardio. And then on the third story, you give them a call to action to go and do something, whether there is a question that they answer or whether there is a link to a lead magnet that you created just for them. So this is a great strategy. And I learned this from my experience on YouTube. I opened a YouTube channel and there was a whole learning experience because YouTube has a master strategy in the way you script your videos, in the way they have to be in line to be converting. And this is what I teach as well. And then there is a module for live videos and how to speak on live videos in line to be getting people on there once you are live, but at the same time to also drive people to watch the live again if they missed it. And just to mention one thing that people do is when they are waiting for people to go live and they say, oh, we're waiting for people. People don't want to wait. People are already there. You are watching somebody. I am here. I don't want to wait for other people. I want you to start speaking, right? So this is kind of like, it's little tweaks that you can do. But what I think is the biggest one, if you're someone that is starting out on video, is to focus on your message and what you have to say rather than the way you look. Like, for example, I see lots of people that apologize for the way they look on camera before they start. And that kind of gives you it makes you look less confident. It makes you look insecure. And it probably is highlighting something that people didn't notice to start with. And, another thing that you can do, and this is what I give, my program is structured in 3 phases. You have the training session with me, and then I give you some kind of homework to do. So I will give you some content to create on your own, and then I will review and I will tell you how you can, improve that. And I teach you how to use Reels strategically. For example, on Instagram, Reels are huge right now. And short video marketing, it's a great way if you're not confident in front of the camera, because you can play with different strategy in line to create something that is speaking to your ideal audience, but something that is comfortable to you. And I think one of the main points that I will say if you are starting out with camera is to record yourself every day for 10 days. And you watch yourself each and every day for that particular. You can do 1 minute video. It doesn't have to be too long. What you do, you look at your video and you take notes of your body language, your motion, the way you speak, whether you are looking right or left, whether you're looking straight to the lens, whether you are moving your face weirdly. We have so many facial expression that we don't know about and we are not aware of it. And the only way for you to do that is to see yourself on camera as much as you can and try to be not critical. Try to say, okay, I'm talking about fitness. How is the message that I'm sharing? Is it clear enough? Is it understandable? What would I feel if I am watching this myself online? Would I stay? Would I leave? So this kind of thing. So there is a whole strategy that I help to that help creators to work with. And another thing that I do is I really work on the ideal client, this nightmare that people don't understand. Because this idea, everybody's speaking about ideal client, but not many people know who they actually are. And on the first module of the program, I help you to identify who is this person, because once we know that, every content that we create is speaking to that one person. And this is what we want.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, another word for it is your avatar for the podcasting world. If John Lee Dumas talks about that, he's like, make every piece of content that you make for that person, because and what that does is it helps your content be consistent. If you start creating content about marketing like I'm doing now, and then all of a sudden it's all about health, I just lost half my audience. Maybe it's a coincidence that some of them are interested in health, but it's less likely that they're going to keep following. So that's good.
Absolutely.
That's some really good stuff. I really like that. So what is your this kind of parting piece of advice, for our audio listeners? And then we're going to go ahead and dive into the website insight.
So I would say, if you are someone that is looking to leverage videos and you are just starting out, just try to make it very simple. Don't invest in lots of equipment. You need just a phone. Don't buy expensive lights. You don't need them. Just start to get your content out there. You will mess up. You will mumble. One of my biggest issue I had at the beginning was the fact that I am not a native English speaker and my accent is quite strong. So I am Italian and we speak really fast. So I was translating that into the English language, which is not a good idea. So, so that was the biggest fear I had, because I felt my content was not clear and understandable for people. So that was a big lesson for me. And I overcome that. And I knew the first video on YouTube, I recorded it 18 times. And I was just driving myself crazy. And then I realized, you know what? It's not going to be perfect. You will mess up. You will mumble. You will make mistakes, which is why I share now on my Instagram as a free content that everybody can get access to. I share Instagram Reels where I give tips and tricks on how to look confident on camera. I give you all the tricks that you need to use if you want to do a video that is converting. I tell you which words to avoid, how to use certain words to sell more, when to use them. If I can bring you an example, if you are using the word you in the first 20 seconds of your video, your views increase of 66%, just because you're speaking directly to somebody that is there. Yeah. People get really turned off by the, hey, everybody, what's up, everybody, hello, everyone, because they don't feel included. They don't feel special. Everybody wants to feel special, right? Everybody wants to feel unique. And if you're speaking to everybody, you are speaking to nobody. And, when it comes to TV, that works. And I think the biggest mistake that lots of people do online, they are kind of replicating what they see on TV. But the audience on TV is different from the audience online. And people online want to see the real you. And, another mistake I did on YouTube was kind of like, when I started, was kind of looking very dressed up. I used to wear like a nice jacket, look super smart. And I realized that was not relatable for people. And then coronavirus arrived. So I was just like, I'm not going to wear a suit in lockdown, am I? So I might as well just make it a little bit more casual. And that was a huge difference on engagement and views. I seen people getting really connected with me because I was more human, more relatable, more like them, which is what you want.
Exactly. That's so cool. Well, I got to tell you, the whole video platform, if you just get started and do a 30-day challenge. I knew one guy, Terry Tang is his name, and he's a little Asian guy, and he was teaching about meditation. And he was saying,
Mm-hmm.
like, and he knew his stuff when it came to meditation, but he was so uncomfortable on camera. I told him to do 30 days. And sure enough, he'd do 30 days and he tagged me in every one of them. So I would comment and say, and he did all 30 days. And I got to tell you, by the end of that 30 days, he was a pro. I mean, he knew what he was doing. He was talking to the camera, and maybe he still needed some, tips here and there, but he was comfortable. He was like, it was live, and he was like, "Good morning. I'm so excited to see you today." And he kind of dove into it, and that's what people want. Like you said, people want to be able to check in and say, and it's kind of like we're animals in many ways, and so if you can, like, create something that people can kind of download every single day and absorb it. That's why I like listening to audiobooks and podcasts, because I
Yeah.
can it's formatted in a way that I can, when I'm working out every morning for 4 hours, walking and everything I'm doing, I can just download it. And so, you imagine the amount of content you can consume and download to your brain if you do it, 2 or 3 hours a day, and it's just all prepared for you like that. So good
It's
stuff.
interesting. I mean, I want to share a research that I read actually this morning, which is really interesting. And it's about how many pieces of content between media, traditional media, and social media do we consume every day. And it is around 3,000 per
Wow.
day. And that starts from your morning when you're listening to something on your Alexa or Google, whatever it is. And then you go into social media and you see loads of content. But what really is retention for you is video, which is retaining 86% of people. And if you are speaking to a potential buyer of your product and service, 86% of people will feel more confident to buy a product that they see on video, which is more understandable because if you're looking at traditional advertising, we're coming from TV. Obviously, that's video for you. So people are more used to it. So when they see pictures, that was kind of the new thing. And now even Instagram, which is mainly a picture platform, it used to be, now it's completely prioritizing video. And if you look at Reels, which are the new Instagram baby, they are taking 2/3 of your screen on your explore page. So meaning that if you're someone that is looking to grow on Instagram, that's the right feature to focus on because
Hmm.
that's where the algorithm is prioritizing content.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of social media is we could talk about that for days. There's such an
Absolutely.
animal, and then what the different platforms. I mean, YouTube versus Facebook Lives, versus
TikTok.
stories. It's just like wow, and it is true what they say. I chose these three: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, just because of the live versions that they allow us to go live with. I mean, I even have it on Twitch. It's just like a backup.
See, I
For
love
the
Twitch. I haven't used it yet. I need to go into Twitch. And I don't have Twitter, which is interesting. I never got into Twitter very much. I used to do it on my personal page, but not anymore. And I do Instagram, YouTube mainly, and Facebook groups as well, because I have a Facebook group. So I do quite a lot of lives there as well.
Facebook has a really good platform for groups. I think
Yeah.
that YouTube would be really smart to create some kind of groups. I know they have their stories and some posts, but if they had something like a Facebook group, that would be really good because YouTube is growing like crazy. It's second largest search engine, and and it's actually become like the number one education. No one talks about
Yeah.
this, but the number one education platform by far. You know,
Yeah.
so
I mean, to bring you an example in terms of education, I have seen probably 85% of online education starts from YouTube subscriptions. So, obviously, let's not talk about the online courses that you can find, but just to consume video content, that's the right platform for you. You can actually sell your whole course through a subscription if you want on YouTube, which is awesome.
mhm.
And then kind of give them a call to action to go somewhere else. But, another thing that is interesting is how the whole YouTube, as you said, and Facebook But then another thing that I think is growing really well is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is launching stories now, which is amazing. And LinkedIn is a great search engine. So if you're someone that has a blog and you are not really getting conversion out of your blog from your website, start to post regularly on LinkedIn. You will see such a difference in engagement because LinkedIn algorithm is incredible. So that's a very
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah, so LinkedIn, depending on the industry you're in, it can be one of the most amazing things. I think it's around 75 new lawyers that I connect with every single day. I mean, it'll cut you off at a certain point. So I just count to 75 so they don't restrict me. And I'm connecting with targeted, it'll let you target based on location, based on their title, very specific, high level people or their assistants, across the nation. And, you can have up to 35,000 contacts. I mean, Joseph, if you're trying to, here's the thing, like, have you ever gotten a Facebook friend request from somebody and then they don't say anything and you're just like, what's
What's the
happening?
point?
Do I know you? Or like it's Facebook has a tendency to be such a personal platform versus professional that when someone tries to make it professional, you get some blowback a lot of times. Whereas on LinkedIn, it's expected that if you're connecting with them, that you have some kind of a business purpose. So right off the bat, you're not going to get that blowback that you would get from Facebook a lot of times. That's been my experience. What do you
I
think?
think I agree with you. And I think, I think LinkedIn is the best if you are someone that is doing a lot of cold approaching on social media. So if you're using Facebook group to approach new clients, or if you use any kind of social media DMs on Instagram to do the same, that can come across a little bit salesy sometimes. So if you do it on LinkedIn, that little ice break, it's not happening because people are expecting you to tell them something about business. So I think that's huge. And in fact, what I love about the algorithm on LinkedIn is the fact that I haven't been on LinkedIn for over a month because I'm working on a new strategy for it. And I get emails saying that my page is getting noticed. And I'm like, I haven't done anything. This is brilliant. So, I have quite a lot of blog posts there because I post lots of case studies on LinkedIn. So I basically take a brand and I share their content strategy and their digital marketing strategy. So I analyze it and then I break it down in a way that for the audience is useful so that they can take inspiration and tips out of it. So I did it for Nike, Kylie Cosmetics. I did it for Adidas. I did it for Louis Vuitton and Supreme. So I take the big brands and I kind of break down what do they do in terms of content strategy on social media. Because when there is a brand that is a retail brand, so they have stores, nobody really looks into the marketing side. They look into the sales one, and the marketing, especially the way they use digital, I think is really interesting, and we can all learn from it because you can implement that into your small business.
Well, that's also some really good Dream 100 process that you have going on there. Those people, you start networking with all those big brands and things are just going to start to happen.
Yeah.
That's good. So what do you think about the LinkedIn Live? I know we're going a little long here. Guys, just wait a minute. We're going to go into the website review here in just a second. We're having so much
Yeah,
fun here. What do you
I
think about
know.
LinkedIn Live?
So LinkedIn Live, I like it. I am a viewer at the moment. I watch quite a lot of it. There is a very good friend of mine, and she does loads of that. I apply for it. I haven't received they don't want me yet, but we'll see.
I applied as well. I haven't
Yeah,
gotten it,
if
but it
somebody
will
out there
be.
is listening from LinkedIn, we are here, people.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be, one of the things I read about was it said to start creating content already because most likely, well, I think it says in there, what they'll do is they'll review what you've been producing and see, do we want this on LinkedIn? So I think that that's a good thing to do is to look at if you guys are thinking about going on LinkedIn or any of these platforms. I mean, LinkedIn is amazing. First of all, if you can get live on there, the fire starter you're going to have is amazing because when someone comments on your thing, all of their connections see that. They get notified that so and so commented on the live show. And so it's a really powerful platform, especially if all of your connections are potential customers. If you're connecting with people that you would like to know what it is you do, like this show, we build websites at Mighty Website Builder. then it's a perfect platform. And so this has been a really fun interview. And for those of you guys that are watching on audio, you got to go check out the YouTube channel, Business Marketing 911. And Joseph, what do you think? Do you think these guys should maybe hit one of these like buttons here, maybe the heart?
Yeah, spread
The
some
heart.
love.
Show some love, you guys. Bang the heart button. If you're on YouTube, we're on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Soon to be LinkedIn. And if you can, make the algorithm happy, we're more likely to get on LinkedIn, maybe. So
Exactly. Yeah. The more you spread some love, the more we get pushed by the algorithm. So yeah, just do it.
exactly. Here, let's have a little fun with this, Joseph. So whoever you guys think is the most handsome, hit the one in front of us. What's interesting about that is it's on different platforms. Anyways, okay.
It's true. So we'll see. I actually want to know the score later, and you're gonna have to tell me. I think you win. I think you win.
Oh,
it's your show, so they love
my
you.
show. I better win. I better win. Okay. So, all right, we're gonna dive into the website insight, and you guys don't forget to comment your website below, because you actually get to win $3,000 in website credits. No matter what platform you're on, go ahead and comment below, and you will be entered to win. All right, let's go ahead and dive in, Joseph. This is the website we're going to be reviewing, Express
Right.
Litigation Services. And I like to go, can you see it okay?
Yeah. If you can zoom it slightly, that would be awesome. Slightly zoom so that I can actually read the copy as well.
Yeah, let me see here. Oh, I'm over here. Hold on. I'm going to make it bigger, and then we're going to go zoom in a little. So right away, I'll comment and say, this is an older template, and that's why it's zoomed out like that automatically. It doesn't fill the whole page. But we are going to zoom in. A couple of things I'll notice right away is that there's no security certificate, no SSL. So for me, I deal with a lot of different websites and stuff. So I have my stuff turned down when it comes to security, so I can actually see, and I have virus protection, all that. But I'm able to look at this website without any problem. But most people have some especially on Chrome, that will say, hey, this website is not secure. And it makes it very difficult to move forward to the site. You have to say, go forward anyway, I'm okay with the threat. And if somebody just found your link on Google, they're unlikely to do that. They're going to find the next website. Wouldn't you agree, Joseph?
Yeah, I agree. And also, the way once you go into Chrome and this happens, and I tell you this because it happened to me actually yesterday, because I was doing a training and I took a website as an example and I had the same issue. It becomes really fiddling for the user. So the user kind of get bored and it just moves on. And the template looks to me very kind of like something that you will do in 2008 kind of style. It's very, you know what I mean? Like we used to have this trend of having the content form on your right-hand side. And then it is very much of a old template, as you mentioned, of course. And what I noticed, we have been here for how long? Probably 2 minutes. We don't have any pop-up with the email list. And nobody's going to actually sign up to a newsletter unless they actually get notified in front of their face.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The other thing is, even just like a lead magnet, something that says, hey, have you gotten our free book or our free, 10 mistakes that lawyers make when trying to hire a process server or whatever, something.
Yeah.
Something. So now a lot of people, there are different opinions on this, Joseph. Do you think it's a good idea to have it pop up right away or when they leave?
I think the way we do it in Rubelli Digital is that we have a pop-up once the user start using the website. So if he clicks somewhere, or if he has been like we are doing now, that is still like you're just reading, it will pop up within 2 minutes. Now everybody that's going to go to Rubelli Digital is going to know what's happening. Anyway, I'm going to change it at the end of this. But yeah, so this is what we do. I think it should pop up. It shouldn't be annoying. It should be something that pops up in the middle of the screen, and then you have the opportunity to actually have it on the bottom.
Yeah.
What I think you have to be based on the industry where you are, you kind of want to be clever with it. You want to do it in a way that is inviting you to give me the email address, but you don't want to look spammy. Otherwise, if you look spammy, people are not going to do it. And as you said, lead magnet is the key. People don't feel comfortable in this time and place to give you their email address unless they get something out of it. And, if for them, that could be, I think when it comes to lawyers and stuff, training. Just give them a few, like for example, you can say, depends who they're targeting, but what is coming up for me, if you're targeting businesses, you can tell them 10 tips on how to, ensure that you have the right TNC in your business, for example.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I think the lead magnet should have something to do with what the business does, or something. Yeah, something that would be like, wow, I really need to know that. Like, you solve a problem for them, and you're more likely to build that email list. And so, for those of you guys that don't know why, like why a pop up, because a lot of people are that way, especially in the old industries like legal. The why is that you're going to build an email list. Have you ever gotten a client that calls you and says, hey, do you still work in this area? Do you still serve in that area? Like, yeah, I've been here this whole time. Yeah, I worked for you 8 months ago. Oh, yeah, well, I don't know. Like, I just searched on Google. I didn't find you the last 3 times. Well, that's how it works. And so if you're not, Joseph, don't you agree? If you're not building some kind of list, then you're not going to be able to build your brand, stay in front of your potential customer.
Well, I actually want to touch on this point because it's extremely important. Thank you for bringing it up, because there is this big conception on social media about followers, right? You have 10,000 followers, 5,000 followers, 20,000 followers. But if you don't have an email list, that is the asset of your business. Meaning that if you
Mhm.
are going away from Instagram and Instagram is closing tomorrow, or Facebook group, or whatever it is, you have to have that into your CRM. You have to have that into your list. They need to be into your ecosystem. And this is what an email list is for, because you create something that actually drive people into your ecosystem. So whatever they are on the process, if they are on Instagram, if they are on Facebook, once they get into your email list, this is where you actually are connected. Because everything else is very kind of like, I can follow you on Instagram, but maybe the algorithm change and I'm not going to see your content anymore. Or
That's
maybe I have you on YouTube, but you don't post a video for 2 months and I haven't checked it out. And YouTube pushes you the content that you engage in most with. So it is really down to have this convert as much as possible into your email list. And the email list should be something, if you are someone that has a smaller size business, so you are actually very hands-on, something that your team works on every day. Like the main focus that I see on small businesses very often when it comes to social media, they just want to grow the following. Like they just feel
Mhm.
like they need their social proof into followers. What I do with them when we work in the agency is to actually switch the mindset into leads. You want to get leads into your business. Followers are great, but they don't pay your bills. You want people that actually are converting into your email list. They get into your
Yeah.
lead magnet. And the lead magnet is a great thing to use on a Facebook ad. You can use Facebook adverts for, you know, you have a lead magnet, it comes into your Instagram story while you're swiping, and you are using the Facebook retargeting, so that you retarget people that already follow you on Instagram but they haven't seen your content before due to whatever reason. You go in front of these people because you are paying, and what you do, you actually have the opportunity to give them your lead magnet. They swipe up, they get into your system, and that's where you get your leads. And once you have your leads, that's where you can actually start to sell your services. It doesn't want to be spammy. It doesn't want to be complicated. It can be a checklist, something simple, something that triggers people attention and they feel excited about it as much as you are when you swipe up into an ad.
Yeah.
Because you do.
Yeah.
Because I do as well.
Yeah, when you see something that you just love, you're like, okay, let me swipe up on this. It's something I wanna do. So we're a little pressed for time. We got a few more minutes here. Let's dive in back in here. Some great content, some major value bombs coming from Joseph here. So one thing, I mean, first of all, I guess we can just kind of brush over the fact this is just an old template. Right away when you hit it, it feels old. It just feels like, now why does that matter, Joseph? Why does it matter that It's old. I mean, don't I just want to be able to call them and hire them?
Yeah. So it is not very like what is coming up for me. The graphic and the style doesn't make me feel like I can trust them for some particular reason. And that
Mhm.
doesn't want to be because of the service, it's just want to be because of their branding. Their branding is very, very old school, which might be technique or a strategy, I don't know, but there is something about it that is not clear. Like there is a, too much information in the homepage. What I will do, I will turn it into a funnel. I want people, this website will be probably accessed from an iPhone or an Android. You want people to really go into the website and start to scroll. And while they're scrolling, they see everything they need to see. So put your services and everything in the landing page. You want to land here and have everything they need to know. You need to know who they are, what they do, how they can help you, and where you can find them. So
Yeah.
this is kind of like what is missing here a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And you want to make it simple, a couple of key things to do if you guys are just doing the basics is, this I'm hovering over this phone number. It should if I'm hovering over it and it's not trying to do a click to call, then it's not clickable from a cell phone either. So if I'm just imagine I'm on my cell phone and I want to call you, even if we're just going with the real basics here, and I'm on my cell phone trying to call you, I'm clicking that with my thumb, it's not calling you. So now I have to memorize your phone number because this looks like an image. Yeah, this is an image.
It is
So
an image, yeah.
so I can't click it. I can't copy it. Now I have to try to memorize that and then punch. It sounds silly, but it's true. A lot of people will just go on back to Google. Let me just go back to Google real quick. Let me swipe up, half swipe up, go back to Google, see, what else is there so that I can maybe save some time. The
Another
other
thing that is missing is the contact form. People don't feel they feel turned off about contact form. They don't really want to use that. It's so much better to get the user to contact you via chat box because they feel like they get an instant response, even if sometimes it's not the case and it takes a couple of hours. But
Mhm.
it's just more effective. So
Yeah, and nowadays you can actually put your Facebook, if you wanted to,
yeah,
be real savvy, you can put your Facebook and it's free, put your Facebook chat right in there.
that's the best.
The other thing is if you are gonna use a contact form, you don't need address, city, state. Why am I gonna give you all the information, all of my kid's birthday, why am I gonna give you all this information just so I can ask you a question? It should be email, maybe name, I guess. Name, email, and my question. That's it.
I agree. And
Yeah.
I think they're doing it because they probably want to kind of build a profile into their CRM.
Mhm.
However, what really happens, as we mentioned before, people feel really turned off about giving them all the information because you're not really sure how they're going to use this information. And also, what you don't know is how this information will be treated just in case you're not working with them anymore, how what they're going to do with it. And they're probably going to have a form with it, but it just gets really complicated for something that it shouldn't be because it's not really getting to work with them just yet. So yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. The other thing is being able to order online. Like I don't see any way on here that I can order. Looks like I might be able to pay them.
Yeah, there
Oh,
is a PayPal button just there.
yeah, reference number. Yeah. So the other thing is I ran a quick search on the Wayback Machine. I love this machine or this website, and you called it exactly 2008.
I was
Very,
right.
you're right. Like we can look and see when they first created their template was in 2008. They did. Um, I'm just curious. Sometimes it won't come up here because the website's it's a free website, but it's pretty cool. You can actually throw in Amazon. It's pretty cool to see the early days of Amazon and the books. And you guys can go check out archive.org to see this stuff. But you can look at other people's websites too, your potential competitors, and see some of the content that they were producing back when they first started their website, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Actually, I'm gonna try to check that out later on. This is cool.
Yeah. So one of the tools, really quick, I always do this is we could go on for days, I think, on that, Joseph.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be fixed there. But they're a Dallas process server, kind of like a Dallas lawyer or whatever other title you have. You want to throw that in. And there's a bunch of variations of keywords, just as a little disclaimer. But I love this tool by Neil Patel. He actually it's really cool. I mean, this is giving us 18 suggested high level keywords, variations of the keyword that we put in that you can simply copy, put in your SEO. Of course, you want to look at all of them, make sure they're good. But the more important thing is, and I want to know what you think, Joseph, is these are other websites right here that are ranking. Um, and so I want to ask you a question about video. So what would you do? I mean, in my imagination, I would imagine making a video, for example, talking about Dallas process servers and somehow relate it to each of the where each of these top level links over here would be happy with it and want to share it on their website. Is that something that you've done before? Do you think that that would be valuable for Google, both Google and YouTube?
Yes, I think the best way that you can do that is actually people really love what I noticed at the moment, especially in the last year. Every website that we work on as an agency, they want a welcome video. Like they want a video as a first thing that opens up once you log in. And that's really friendly because people don't really like reading very much. They don't like long funnels. They don't like short funnels. They like something in between. The video can be a wrap up of what you do and what you're about. And you kind of give a little sneak peek of your services. This video can be uploaded on YouTube. It doesn't have to be public. You can use YouTube as a host and then you can put your keywords in it and that will trigger Google anyway. And any video on website will give a push to the search engine anyway because video is definitely more converting. So having a good video, what I will do in this website, I will actually put somebody, whether is the founder of the owner or whatever, and just explain. I will divide it in let's say 3 services, 3 sections, and each and every section has a video to introduce what they are and what they do with that particular service. And I think that makes the user experience more engaging, and also it makes the time consumed on the website more purposeful for the person that is looking for information, because they just watch the video, they say, okay, I like it, I will do it, or maybe no, let's get next.
Yeah, that's good. So so you can take these keywords, you can make a video, and then some of these I happen to know, like NAPS, that's what the National Association for Process Servers, and they have a listing there. If you wanted to link out to them in your video, maybe give them a little shout out. That's somebody who might share your video on their social, which will then drive people back to your video on your YouTube. And just overall, just this whole idea of networking, your network really is your net worth. So the second thing I want to go over with you real quick, and then we're going to announce this week's winner and we'll kind of wrap things up here. I'm not sure if I hit an hour, will everything explode or not? Okay. So, very cool. So this was the top pages here. It's not looking good, folks, for this website, but I don't even know what to say. I mean, usually what I can do is I'll get a list of the different ones and kind of dissect why those pages are getting more traffic than others. In this case, it's pretty sad. We got one visit here on the page. So, but that's how it is. You got to start somewhere. So, what this could be too, for the fact that the security thing, and I pointed out right away, a lot of people that are trying to go to the website aren't even going to it because Google Chrome or whatever security is saying, hey, this is not a safe site. And that's probably killing a lot of business for them. So,
yeah. And let me tell you something, based on the service provider that you have on your broadband, if you have an internet connection, sometimes it's the broadband that is stopping you to access anyway. So that happens to us here in the UK. If Chrome triggers that there is a website that is not secure, let's say Vodafone will stop us to access in the first place. So it's for me to access to, I actually need to switch off my Wi-Fi or just go with my phone and see if I can access to it. Because sometimes it's the broadband itself, because they just trigger security risk, especially if it's something to deal with law. It's just very bad for business, because you are essentially triggering one of the biggest problem on Chrome is the fact that you sometimes you can't even access. So it is really sad, but you have to start somewhere. So I think this is a very good wake up call for the guys that have this website, because that's gonna tell them exactly what to do.
Yeah, and actually, I was mentioning the naps, they actually are linked. They actually have a naps listing, but they're not getting any visits because, I mean, I assume it's because of the certificate. So, they got a few backlinks here that are pretty good valuable backlinks. So I think if they fix the security certificate, create a new website probably, or at least get a new template going, I think it'll help them a lot. So
Just get
uh,
a makeover.
there you go. So, what I want to do, you guys, is I'm really grateful, Joseph, coming on. You've just really been such a wealth of knowledge, and it's been cool hanging out with you. And just the
Thank you.
fact that I can tell people, I got a friend from the UK, that's pretty cool too.
Thank you.
So I want you guys to go check out. Let me throw this back on there real quick. I want you guys to go check out this link. I'm going to put it in the comments. These are all of the different things that Joseph has going on. Of course, you can check out his Instagram, but this is his Linktree account where it has all the links of the things that he's doing. So I'm going to post that in the comments and in the description once it all finishes publishing where it's going to go. So,
Thank you. And there is a gift for every one of the listener. If you are someone looking to get to start with Instagram Reels or short video marketing, if you're someone that is looking to start video but you're not comfortable to do long videos, you can download my free guide that I have for Instagram Reels guide, and I give you steps on how to use Reels and short video in general. But at the same time, I give you also 20 plus topic that you can use on your video to start if you don't know what to talk about. So that's very useful if you are starting out.
That is so cool. So, Joseph, I appreciate you coming on. And guys, if you want to learn more about Reels, Instagram, what does all this even mean? Watch it from the beginning, because this has been just such a valuable lesson in marketing and video production, and just kind of the status of the market overall. Is when it comes to marketing, it's changing so rapidly, and this has been a lot of fun. I'm excited about coming on your podcast too. It's going to be fun.
Yes, this is going to be awesome. I cannot wait to have you there. It's just like we're going to cover so much value for my audience as well. And if you guys want to hang out with me on Instagram, I share so much free content there, and I give you so many tips. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, and I hang out on stories quite a lot. So you have quite a lot of stuff to check out. And I try to make it light and digestible. Otherwise, it becomes really overwhelming. This whole online thing sometimes can be crazy. So, yeah.
That's good. That's good. So learn how to use Reels. Visit Joseph Rubelli. And I think that's on Instagram. Is that on Facebook as well?
Yeah, so it's Instagram, Facebook. We have a Digital Bosses podcast. We have a Digital Bosses Facebook group. So there is lots of creators, entrepreneurs, and coaches that hang out there. So if you're looking to connect, grow, and communicate and build your community, you can start from there.
That's perfect. Well, thank you so much. And you guys take care. Be safe. Actually, do you want to hang out while I announce this week's winner?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let me go ahead. So we're going to be right back. I want to make sure that I get this right every single time. So just bear with us. This is the 30 seconds of suspense. Okay, Joseph?
Ooh, go for it.
Okay, you guys, we're back, and I got to make sure, because I'm giving away $3,000 in website credits every single week to either fix your website like the one we just reviewed, or build you a completely new optimized website where you're able to then meet with someone like Joseph who will help get you traffic to it and build a brand. Okay. So today's winner is actually somebody who I really consider reviewing her website. We're going to give her a little shout out and look at her website, and we're going to actually announce her. She does watch the show. So this is her website. Right away when you hit the screen, I mean, it's very interesting, and she's got some really cool video uh, abilities there, but it's not exactly what you want in a process or a website. And this is the young lady here, Miss Ruth Elena Eisenberg. I'm sure I got that wrong, so sorry.
Eisenberg, yeah.
Yeah, but you are the winner. Congratulations, Ruth.
Congratulations. Well done. This is awesome.
So yeah, just reach out to me, and of course, definitely we'll schedule a time and set it up, and of course, take Joseph up on his invitation, and we're going to post all the links, you guys, in the show notes. And Joseph, what is your parting piece of advice here for all of our mighty action takers out there?
So I will say this is the best time for you to really, if you have an idea or you're looking to change something in your business, to really take action, because we are in a process of progression, change. It can be scary, it can be overwhelming, but there's no better time than now. And I learned this personally. So just take action and risk it. And yes, it will take time. Yes, it won't be perfect, but you have to kind of enjoy the process. And once you enjoy that, the result will come with it.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much again. And you guys, go comment your website below so you can be entered and we can tear it apart and provide value. That's the goal here. We want to provide as much value as we can. And so, Joseph, you've been so kind to come on, and I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely. Take care.
Bye.
So, guys, I know you guys want all the value that comes from Business Marketing 911, and I know that you're excited about growing your business and taking things to the next level. So, go ahead and comment below. And of course, if you're listening to this on audio, go check out our YouTube channel and bang the like button. It wants you to. It needs you to in order for us to survive. So, in this economy and everything or whatever, just subscribe and comment and like and all that. Okay. All right, you guys. We'll see you on the next one.